Okay, I'm really excited because we are going to learn about long multiplication in this video. Long multiplication is how we multiply large numbers. But before we jump in, I want to give you the game plan, alright? First, we're going to review multiplication to make sure we're all on the same page. Then we'll learn how to multiply double-digit numbers times single-digit numbers, and finally, double-digit numbers times double-digit numbers. It's going to be epic, okay? Whoa, wait, hold up. I can't believe this. It's Clancy. I've heard of this guy. He loves buying cupcakes. I think he likes to share them with his friends. This bakery has a tasty 6-count cupcake box. I mean, they look delicious. Let's say he buys 2 boxes. 2 boxes. If there are 6 in a box and he buys 2 of them, that would be 6 times 2. The number 6, 2 times. 6 times 2 would be 12. Right. 12. 6 times 2 equals 12. 12 is the product. The product is the answer to a multiplication problem. That's multiplication. Multiplication is when you have a number a certain number of times. Now, another day, let's say they have a special box with 9 cupcakes. Clancy decides to buy just 1 box. 9 times 1. 9 cupcakes, 1 time. He's getting 1 box. How many cupcakes is he buying on this day? 9. 9 times 1 equals 9. 9 is the product. Clancy is getting 9 cupcakes this time because he's getting 1 9-cupcake box. Awesome. Now, the following week, the shop releases a special edition box with 3 cupcakes inside. Clancy thinks the box looks awesome. I mean, I do too. It's a cool looking box. He decides to buy 5 of these boxes. 3 cupcakes, 5 times. Whoa! 3 times 5. This is the same as 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. The number 3, 5 times. What is 3 times 5? Yeah, 15. 3 times 5 equals 15. On that day, he is buying 15 cupcakes. 15 is the product. Alright, that's multiplication. But what if we need to multiply larger numbers? Double-digit numbers. You see, Clancy is going to have a big party. That's right. And he's going to need a lot of cupcakes. Clancy decides to buy 4 dozen cupcakes. How many are in a dozen? 12. That's right. To find out how many cupcakes he's buying, we need to multiply 12 times 4 because he's buying 4 dozen cupcakes. 12 times 4. Let's write down 12 times 4. We put 12 on top and 4 below it, making sure everything is lined up by place value. The 2 and the 4 are both in the ones place, so they line up perfectly. The number 1 is in the tens place. Because this 1 is in the tens place, it represents 1 single 10, so it really means 10. First, we'll multiply the ones, so we'll multiply 2 times 4. What is 2 times 4? 8. Yes, we put the number 8 here under the ones because we were multiplying the ones place. Wonderful. First step down. Next, we move over here to the tens place. We're going to multiply across. 1 times 4. Because we're multiplying the 10 spot, this is really 110 times 4. What is 1 times 4? Yep, 4. It's the number 4, 1 time. So we'll write the number 4 here in the tens place because we were multiplying the tens. And that's it. We have our answer. 12 times 4 equals 48. Clancy is ordering 48 cupcakes. Wow! 48 is the product. Hey, great job solving that. All we had to do was multiply the ones and then multiply the tens. Now let's try a few more to get used to this process. Here we have 21 times 3. We have the 21 on the top and the 3 below it. It's lined up by place value. The 1 and the 3 are in the ones place. The number 2 is in the tens place. First, we multiply the ones, so we'll multiply 1 times 3. What is 1 times 3? Yeah, 3. We'll put the number 3 here under the ones because we were multiplying the ones place. Awesome. Now we need to multiply the tens place. We're going to multiply across. 2 times 3. Because we're multiplying the 10 spot, this is really 2 tens times 3. What is 2 times 3? You got it, 6. So we'll write the number 6 here in the tens place because we were multiplying the tens. And that's it. We have our answer. 21 times 3 equals 63. 63 is the product. Fantastic. Next, let's try 42 times 2. We have the 42 on the top and the 2 below it. It's lined up by place value. Both 2's are in the ones place. The number 4 is in the tens place. First, we multiply the ones, so we'll multiply 2 times 2. What is 2 times 2? Yep, 4. Yes! We put the number 4 here under the ones because we were multiplying the ones place. And now we need to multiply the tens place. We're going to multiply across. 4 times 2. What is 4 times 2? 8. Tremendous job! So we'll write the number 8 here in the tens place because we were multiplying the tens. And that's it. 42 times 2 equals 84. 84 is the product. Let's do another one, but with a special twist. 57 times 2. We make sure it's lined up by place value and we're ready to go. First, we multiply the ones. What is 7 times 2? 14. Great. But 14 is a double-digit answer. What do? Well, we write the 4 down here in the ones place and put the 1, which is a 10, up here at the tens place. That's called regrouping. Regrouping. The 4 in 14 stays down here like we've been doing, and the 1 is carried up here. Then we multiply the tens. We do that by multiplying across 5 times 2. What is 5 times 2? 10. That's right. But we have this extra 10 that we carried over from 14 when we regrouped. All we do is add that extra 1 to the 10, which gives us 11. We write 11 down here, and we have our final answer. 57 times 2 equals 114. 114 is the product. Hey, let's practice regrouping with one more problem, and then we'll be ready to take things to the next level. How about 47 times 3? We make sure everything is lined up by place value, and we're ready to go. First, of course, we multiply the ones. What is 7 times 3? 21. Awesome! But 21 is another double-digit answer, but that's okay. This part is fun. We write the 1 down here in the ones place and put the 2, which represents 20, up here at the tens place. That's called regrouping. The 1 in 21 stays down here, and the 2 is carried up here with the tens. Then we multiply the tens. 4 times 3. What is 4 times 3? 12. Yes, but we have this number 2 that we carried over from 21 when we regrouped. All we do is add that 2 to the tens answer we got. That gives us 14, because 12 plus 2 equals 14. We write 14 down here, and we have our final answer. 47 times 3 equals 141. 141 is the product. You are doing an amazing job. Now you know everything you need to multiply two double-digit numbers. We'll take it one step at a time, and you'll see it's not as tricky as it looks. Let's start with 21 times 11. We write 21 on top and 11 right below it, lining it up by place value. And we're ready to go. Now, for the first steps, we aren't going to use this digit down here in the tens place. We'll need it later, but we'll have to wait. What I like to do is cover it up real quick. Let's hide it behind this owl. Why an owl? I don't know. I guess I just really like owls, you know? Now we do the same thing we did before. First, we multiply the ones. What is 1 times 1? 1. Yes, 1. We'll put the 1 down here below the ones. Next, we multiply the tens. To multiply the tens, we need to multiply across. 2 times 1. What's 2 times 1? 2. 2. So we put the number 2 down here below the tens. Great. At this point, we are ready for the digit behind the owl. We have to move this owl. Since we no longer need this digit in the ones place, we can just scoot the owl over here. Before we keep multiplying, we have one more thing to do. We need to put a 0 in the ones place right here as a placeholder. Since this 1 that we just uncovered is in the tens place, that means it's really 10. That's why we put a 0 here. What's next? Well, we multiply like we did before, except we are multiplying by this digit in the tens place. We multiply across 1 times 1. What is 1 times 1? 1. That's right. 1. We put the number 1 right here. And what is 2 times 1? 2. Yep, 2. We put the number 2 down here. We're almost done. Now all we have to do is add these answers together. We just have to add them up. 1 plus 0 equals 1. 2 plus 1 equals 3. Yeah. And this final line just has the number 2. And we have our answer. 21 times 11 equals 231. 231 is the product. Amazing job. Oh, cool. The owl is chilling in a tree. I mean, this isn't the same owl from our multiplication problem. First of all, this owl looks different, and our multiplication owl is a cartoon, so there's that. Maybe they're cousins. Let's try another one. How about 62 times 20? We write the 62 on top and 20 right below it, lining it up by place value. And we're ready to go. Remember, for the first steps, we aren't going to use this digit down here in the tens place. We'll need it later, but we'll have to wait. Let's cover it up real quick with the owl again, all right? After covering that up, we multiply the ones. What is 2 times 0? 0. Yes. If you multiply any number times 0, the answer is 0. We'll put the 0 down here below the ones. Next, we multiply the tens. What is 6 times 0? 0 again. So we put another 0 down here below the tens. Awesome. At this point, we are ready for the digit behind the owl. Since we no longer need this digit in the ones place, we'll just scoot the owl over here like we did last time. Before we keep multiplying, we have one more thing to do. We need to put a 0 in the ones place right here as a placeholder. Since this 2 that we just uncovered is in the tens place, that means it's really 20. That's why we put a 0 here. Now we multiply like we did before, except we are multiplying by this digit in the tens place. We multiply across 2 times 2. What is 2 times 2? 4. That's right, 4. We put the number 4 right here. And what is 6 times 2? 12. Yep, 12. We put the number 12 down here. Awesome. We're almost done. All we have to do is add these answers together. Since the top row is just zeros, we can bring down the other numbers without changing them, because nothing is being added to them. We now have our final answer, 1,240. 62 times 20 equals 1,240. 1,240 is the product. Fantastic! You've done an incredible job learning about long multiplication. Long multiplication is how we multiply large numbers. Let's do one more example, going through it one step at a time, except with this last one, we will use regrouping, okay? The last one we'll do is 34 times 13. We write the 34 on top and 13 right below it, lining it up by place value. And we are ready to go. Remember, for the first steps, we aren't going to use this digit down here in the tens place. We'll need it later, but we'll have to wait. Let's cover it up real quick with the owl again. First, we multiply the ones. What is 4 times 3? 12. Awesome. Now 12 is a double-digit answer, so we will need to regroup. Do you remember how this works? We write the 2 down here in the ones place. And where do we put the 1? Yeah, up here. This 1 represents 10. That's why it goes up here in the tens place. That's called regrouping. The 2 in 12 stays down here, and the 1 is carried up here with the tens. Then we multiply the tens. 3 times 3. What is 3 times 3? 9. Yes, but we have this number 1 that we carried over from 12 when we regrouped. All we do is add that 1 to the tens answer we got. That gives us 10, because 9 plus 1 equals 10. We write 10 down here below the tens. Great. Now that we are done using it, we can remove this number 1 that we regrouped, because we are ready for the next step. What do we do next? Yeah, you know what? We've got to move the owl. We'll just scoot the owl over here like we've been doing. When you do this, you can use your finger to block it instead of this owl. Not everyone has a fancy cartoon owl to block digits with, okay? Now we have one more thing to do before we continue multiplying. We need to put a 0 in the ones place right here as a placeholder. Since this 1 that we just uncovered is in the tens place, that means it's really 10. That's why we put a 0 here. And now we multiply. We are multiplying by this digit in the tens place. We multiply across 4 times 1. What is 4 times 1? 4. That's right, 4. We put the number 4 right here. And what is 3 times 1? 3. Yep, 3. We put the number 3 down here. We're almost done. Now all we have to do is add these answers together. 2 plus 0 equals 2. 0 plus 4 equals 4, yeah. And 1 plus 3 equals 4. That's right. And we have our answer, 442. 34 times 13 equals 442. 442 is the product. Amazing. Great job. Remember, when we multiply double-digit numbers by double-digit numbers, we cover this digit here and multiply the ones and then the tens. Then we cover the digit here in the ones place. Don't forget the placeholder 0. Then multiply by this digit in the tens place, starting with the ones and then the tens. Finally, just add these answers together, and that's it. Now you know how to multiply large numbers. You did an amazing job practicing long multiplication today. Keep practicing and soon you'll be able to solve even bigger long multiplication problems because I know you have what it takes. Well done, you really got the hang of this. Thanks for watching all the way to the end and learning with me. I hope you had fun. If you want more awesome learning videos, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons for making these lessons possible. You all are the best. And to everyone watching, you're so awesome. Keep up the great work, and I'll see you next video.